If you're like me, you love to use herbs all year round. Well, why not have fresh herbs right on your kitchen cupboard? Here's a great little strawberry pot, and I've picked this one because it's real small and compact and it won't take up that much room in my kitchen. Then I've chosen some of my most favorite herbs, and I'm going to create a little herb garden right in my kitchen. Flower pot has a hole in the bottom for drainage, and that's really important. Now, the other thing you've got to remember once you have a hole for drainage is you're probably going to want to put this in a dish so that when you water the herbs, the water doesn't just go flowing all over the kitchen cupboard. I've got a soilless potting mixture, a soilless potting soil that I'm going to use, and I'm going to just fill the bottom of this pot to start with because I need to leave some room so that I can get my herbs in these little holes that are already in this strawberry pot. So I've got a base of garden soil, potting soil that I put in the bottom. Now I'm going to take my herbs, and really you can use any herb that you like and pick out one that you tend to use a lot. This, I'm going to take off some of the excess dirt that's on this. Some of these herbs are a little too large, so I'm actually just going to split them and take a smaller part, and basically I'm just going to plant them in the holes. So I'm going to put this in. Now what'll happen as these grow, they'll fill out the entire hole. You could get trailing herbs and those would come down the pot, and some will grow up but they'll fill in. The next hole, I'm going to put in some sage because I use a lot of sage in my cooking. Again, I'm going to take off some of the dirt around the bottom of it, but I'm not going to break this one. I'm just going to kind of compact the soil around it. And then I'll fit it in my hole in the pot. And see, that really fills it out nicely because there was so much in that pot. I'll take the excess dirt and put it in there. I'm going to go to the next hole, and I think in the next hole I'm going to put rosemary because I use a lot of rosemary and it smells wonderful. That's the other thing about an herb pot on your kitchen counter is when you walk by it, you can just brush up against the herbs and you'll get this wonderful fragrance that'll fill the house. Not to mention that whenever you're cooking, whenever you want a fresh herb to use as a garnish or to put in your sauce, you can just snip some off and it will regrow. And that's the trick to keeping this herb pot all year round too, is you do want to snip some off and use it and it will just grow back again. If you want to keep it small, you can keep it snipped and it'll stay small. Or if you want them to get bigger, you can let them fill out and they'll cover most of the pot. I've got one more slot, and I think, I can't decide between the marjoram and the basil. I'm going with the basil. So I'll put basil in this last hole that I've got. Herbs don't need a lot of fertilizer, so you don't need to worry about fertilizing them. I would fertilize it now, right after it's just planted, and then maybe, every couple of months. Herbs don't like a lot of fertilizer, so you want to be careful not to over-fertilize, but you do want to keep them well watered. All right, now that we've got our holes filled in, I'm going to take some more potting soil, put it in the top. I'm going to fill up the pot, but I've got one more herb that I'm going to put right in the top that'll fill out this top and kind of be the centerpiece. And for that, I've chosen parsley. But you can choose any herb that you like. I would get a bigger one to put in the top. I'm going to put this right in the top, and then I'm going to fill it with dirt. I'm going to water this really well. Put it in a dish, take it into my kitchen, and enjoy fresh herbs from my own herb garden all year round.